myself, you know. Went through every number on my telephone. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. I never thought that maybe I needed a friend. You have always been there together till the end. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. Finding love ended in disaster. No such thing as happily ever after. Love ended in disaster, disaster. Now I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. You're here when I need you, steady by my side. You always make me smile when things are weighing me down. We will dance together till the sunrise. We always have a good time. Finding love ended in disaster. No such thing as happily ever after. Love ended in disaster, disaster. Now I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. But now I'm free. Show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. How are we? We got a nice little treat to end the week. And today is going to be call-in day. Link is going to be in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat, but I'll be reposting it. So if you want to call in and speak, literally all you have to do is hit that link. Make sure that your camera is off and your audio is on and that the podcast isn't playing in the background, so we can have clear audio and you can join the chat. But welcome everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful week and a wonderful day. Let's see who's in the chat. Thank you to Dorothy Ross for the PayPal yesterday. I did see that. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody who contributes, all with all our new members that we've been onboarding the last couple of weeks. So quite a few of you. I think there's almost 90 of you now, which is amazing. So thank you so much. And if you want to contribute to the channel in any way, just look in the description box, or it's usually pinned to the top comment. Let's see who's here. Brenda, hi. Hi, Cian Adams. Hi, Karen. Olivia's here. Carolyn's here. Marilyn's here. Lucy's here. Hi, Ethne. Joyce, hello. Hello, Black Queen. There's Maps, hi. Light Side the Moon, hey. So today, actually, I've only got a few updates. So it just depends on how long you all want to talk for or how many people come up. Otherwise, there's really not that many updates, just so you know. All right, now that we've done all the intros, I will get straight to the news. So, as we know, Harry and Meghan went to the One Young World conference in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. And while they were there, it wasn't just Meghan giving her speech. She also spoke to many of the young people that were there. They had a roundtable, and Town and Country were given exclusive rights to release the images. And here are some of the images from the event. We've got Harry and Meghan on the roundtable, and also taking a picture there from people from different organizations doing great things. And also this lovely picture here. Look at the amount of joy that people have when they get to hug Meghan. Just like pure joy. And the amount of joy that she expresses also from connecting, like both sides, the joy that people have and the joy that Meghan and Harry express when they're meeting and greeting with the public. And it's the level of joy that you saw with Diana, and that the other royals unfortunately just don't have. But if you choose to just follow the path of the archaic institution that you're in and you don't want to change, you will never have this level of connection with people. And when I see pictures like this, it just makes me realize, with all the best intention in the world, because at the end of the day, it's Harry's family, and I genuinely think that he wanted to try his best to bring his family to where he has grown. But his family is part of a bigger institution that just does not want they don't want this, what you're seeing on the screen. They don't want joy, they don't want diversity, they don't want good people doing good things for people in need. So with all the best intention in the world, I just think what Harry and Meghan wanted to do, it was never going to fit the institution. And that's not their fault. That's 100% the institution's fault. Because as far as they're concerned, they can just smile and wave, and that's enough.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's that's more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So
Right. So that's that. Also, before we move on to the main story, the new coins are now being minted. We haven't seen the paper money yet, but when I see things like this, it's just really starting to sink in how real it is that we actually have King Charles. Like, especially as someone who's grown up in the United Kingdom and understands the history with Diana, what was done to her, and understands that basically this man has been waiting for this for 73 years of his life. And his emotional support, Camilla, has also been waiting by his side. It is a very, very strange feeling, and kind of some strange twisted fate that this would be happening right as the British currency falls. Which there is a prophecy that Charles will either never be king or not be king for a very long time, and that all these horrible things are happening just as he's about to be coronated, because he's not it's not like official until he's coronated. I don't know. I think the man who told that prophecy might be proven right. But yeah, we're about to start getting King Charles money, and it just makes it real. And it just reminds me of Diana, to be honest. All right, to your comments before we go into the next thing. Oh, and link if anybody wants to join the chat. Okay. Hello to everyone if you're just joining us. Windeloman, yuck. Yeah. Yes, Julia Rock. Karma is king, not Charles. Joan, oh, sorry, Joan. Every time you play that, my disgust levels hit the roof. It used to anger me, but now, anytime the other royals talk nonsense, I'm just like this. Yeah, so I no longer get angry anymore. I'm just like that. Joyce Bird, it's time to shop in the UK. Your pound is frightening. Well, anybody who's been following me for a while knows that I'm a prepper. I have literally been going on about prepping for the last year. In fact, if you've been following me for long enough, you'll know that I actually started a prepping channel. Haven't really posted anything, but I also had a prepping guide. So I'm prepared, Miss Jane. I'm more than prepared. I've got a cupboard full of dried pasta and everything else. So I'm okay. And it's just like it's just so funny because I was saying to friends and family, like literally from last year, prep up on food, buy gold and silver, whatever you can afford. And they were all looking at me like, learn how to grow food, learn how to be more self-sufficient. And they were all looking at me like I was mad or preparing for the Hunger Games. Yeah, well, here it is. What you got to say now? I mean, listen, I think that things will bounce back. I literally think they just did this whole shorting of the pound so that their hedge fund buddies could make some money. Like, I do think things will bounce back in a few weeks or months. But we are still going to be going through the ringer in terms of the price of goods, and especially, I guess, throughout the winter. It's going to be really, really bad. So this is why it's important to prep. CN Adams, Duchess, can you give them out as treats to members? I'd love to have one when it falls down and I can show my grandkids that this is the fool who killed the monarchy. Okay, do you want me to actually buy some coins? I'll do like a Charles online giveaway. I actually had someone message me. I think it might have been outside of Perspective, who I still haven't replied to. I'm so sorry if you're listening. But somebody actually messaged me and said, could I send you money to buy me the old currency? You can probably buy the old currency on eBay, to be honest. Like buy £1 for £3. It'll probably be 50p now. Julia, I bought Canadian stamps a month ago and I was asked any preference in style. Give me anything, I said. I walked away with 10 Lizzie stamps. Yuck. eBay maybe. We'll keep them, and if you keep them very well preserved, they could be worth something. It's like even the morning of the Queen's funeral and the morning after the announcement, I went and bought all of the papers, and so even my little sister bought them, and they're all now nicely preserved in folders, because they're going to be worth something one day. So yeah, keep those stamps safe. Jay, absolutely, we're not doing much better here. And 100 on the hedge fund grid. Yes. I mean, the counselor is literally an ex-employee of one of the biggest hedge fund managers in the country. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So, yes, royal reporters getting called out and royal aides. So, I'm sure we all remember Meghan's Smart Works collection that she did for the Smart Works charity. I am proud to say that I have been a recipient of Smart Works's aid before Meghan came on board. But the first time I lost a job, I did go to Smart Works. They helped me with my CV, interview skills, and gave me clothes. And the clothes that are donated are very good quality clothes, mind you, like damn near designer. I got like an LK Bennett dress and shoes and a bag and some accessories. And it just gives you so much confidence to walk into an interview, both to look good and to have your interview skills. So when I heard that Meghan was working with SmartWorks, I was just blown away, because I have been a recipient of their help firsthand. And one of the young ladies who was involved in helping the event did a well, she and her male friend have a podcast. Now, this podcast was actually recorded back in May, but nobody really picked up on it. So the podcast was on the Gal Code podcast. This is what it's called. And the episode was episode 4 of their podcast. Let me hang on a minute. I'm just loading for me, because I'm actually going to play the segment so you can hear what she said. I'm so surprised that nobody really picked up on this until now. So thank you to the squaddy who managed to catch this. Oh, hang on a minute now. Why is this taking so long to load? Give me a moment, folks. Okay, sorry. The podcast was episode 4, and it's called An International Women's Day Women Won't Forget. Meghan Markle, GMB, and women's rights. So just have a listen to what they had to say.
Thanks for doing that. So, shall we start with Meghan and Harry's Oprah interview? Okay.
What was your initial thoughts?
Well, okay, so I just want to give a little bit of backstory to this, because I love Meghan Markle.
Yeah, me too.
And I have a reason for this, right? So, in one of my previous jobs, we did an event for her for the launch of one of her charity collections that she was. Is it like an ambassador that they are?
Yes.
Yeah, an ambassador for. And everything about this for ages was so hush-hush until launch. And the people on the team at work who were working on it were all on NDAs, like it was so quiet until they announced what was happening. So obviously when it announced what was happening, we're like, oh my God, like, is Meghan actually involved in this? Because with these things, you do think, do the royals just put their names to it?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my gosh, no, she's on every conference call that we have. And we were like, oh my God, that's so good, she's actually involved. So fast forward to the event that we did, and oh my goodness, it was like the most amazing work day I've ever done. I was on duty at the doors, I was on entrance and exit. And when she like rolled up in the car and got out, and basically she was, I think, supposed to greet someone first, but she wanted to actually greet the 2 women who kind of created this collection. And I was like, that's so nice. Like, she's not gone straight in with someone who's kind of dibble-dabbled in it but is just using their name or something, if that makes any sense. She was really nice. Like, she spoke to them for this is going to sound so ridiculous. She spoke to them, but of course she spoke to them. But we all said when she got out the car, she glows. Everyone who saw her said it. She has this glowy aura around her that is magical. And I was like, I love you, Meghan Markle. Anyway, she did the event and she did her speech, and she didn't her speech obviously was rehearsed. I know she's an actress. She didn't have cue cards. She just delivered it.
Yeah.
And it was spectacular. And then she stayed. So she was on, like, everything with her was like such a strict time. It was like she's arrives at this time, and then we have this at this and this, and that's it, she's gone. Like, it's such a schedule.
Yeah.
And she extended her day, like her schedule, because she wanted to actually meet every single person who was involved and thank them personally. I mean, meet them as in, like, this is when you could hug and shake hands.
Yeah.
And that was so exciting, because like the people at work who usually feel someone else probably wouldn't get the recognition, it would just be the top dogs that did. She actually said thank you and was really like, I really appreciate it, and was lovely. She was deep at the event or anything. And I tell you who were the rude people, because obviously I was on door, so we had security there, and it was bag search, etc. If you had liquid or makeup, you had to test your makeup on your hand, just to show that it wasn't anything hazardous.
We have some call outs for people who were a bit diva-ish.
Well, the diva-ish ones were the royal advisors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I remember I was stood there by the lift. The security guard said to the royal advisor, like, oh, can you test the makeup on your hand? Then she like scoffed at it, and I was like, are you not used to doing this? This is your life? And I was just a bit like, she was snooty. So I thought that was really interesting. And then we get back to the office, and it's chaos in the office, because journalists are trying to find any negativity to do with the factory where the collection was made. So I'm pretty sure one journalist had actually flown out a couple of days before to the factory and was ringing us. I'm at the factory, like, we investigate claims that they're not being paid the national wage, slave labour,
Bloody hell.
and they were digging. Obviously, they couldn't find any trace of that because it wasn't true.
Yeah.
It wasn't happening, whatever. And I was like, do you know what? This is so messed up that she's just done this. And that's what the press is saying. And I remember reading a headline, I think it was like the Daily Mail. It was like, Meghan Markle leaves event early to go and feed Archie. And I was like, she didn't leave the event early. She overstayed.
Yeah.
And it was all bullshit, like absolute bullshit.
So this is my thing. So when I watched the interview, I'm a Meghan fan anyway. I think she's been treated disgustingly by our press and by a lot of the British public. And when I watched the interview, I'm going to play devil's advocate. From the people I spoke to who weren't as Meghan as me, yes, there were some bits that were not the most... Like, do I believe she didn't Google him? No. I Google even Jack down the road.
But then I do think that, because I thought that, but then as a celebrity, you know that the press is pretty much bullshit.
Yeah.
And you don't Google headlines about yourself because you just know that you're going to find negative stuff. So I kind of think I can understand why she wouldn't Google, because celebrities don't really Google.
I know, but I think she probably knew a bit more about the royal family than she'd like to lead on.
Yeah.
But I believe everything she said about her experience. And I think when you actually look into what came out, you don't have to look very hard to understand and see what she's talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we move. So everything she said, I totally believed. And to be honest, the whole interview I thought was absolutely shocking.
And there's a lot of stuff that ITV didn't show. They uncut a lot of stuff.
So they recorded a 3.5-hour interview, and it was edited to 1 hour and 20 minutes.
So what was shown on the Oprah?
So no, it was the same thing.
Oh, the same thing.
On the morning show on the American channel, they showed like bonus clips. So bits that are talking about her father, her sister who's wrote a tell-all book.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because I think they pretty much said the most important parts that we needed to hear. But I mean, just wow. So let's just break that down a bit. So you had Meghan doing the Smart Works collection. That's there to help women and supporting the organization. And then you had the trash press who were looking into the factory just to get a story to see if the Smart Works collection was being made by slave labor. Just looking for anything and everything negative. And then they lied and said that she left early. And if she needed to leave early to look after Archie, so what? That's her baby. Even though I guess they don't care because they just see Archie as an animal. And then to hear that the royal aides were being snooty to people who were there on that day to help, to support a charity that helps women. And it doesn't surprise me. And we know who the snooty, lazy royal aides are. These are bottom shelves on the screen, who for the first time in their lives, when a woman of color came onto the scene, actually had to work and not just throw around their name and their status and their job title. These people do not work at all. I really want to know what they do on a day-to-day basis, other than bullshit each other. That's what they do for a living. All they care about is their position and their status and their titles. They don't actually care about working. So it's great that more people are coming out and speaking about their positive experiences, and I hope that more people do, because everyone who's ever worked with Meghan has nothing but nice things to say about her. And it's only these individuals in this 1,000-year-old institution that are claiming that an American woman came in and bullied all of them. Really? Joyful Spirit, you said, Duchess of Success, your channel will go down in history as a rebuttal to the false narrative of Prince Harry and Meghan. Well, I am one of a huge club of people who are seeking justice and truth. Because like I've always said, this isn't just about Meghan anymore. This is so much bigger than just Harry and Meghan, right? In fact, Harry and Meghan are the tip of the iceberg of a much bigger problem that we have in British society and with the press and society um, as a whole that loses its damn mind, is so triggered when someone who they deem is not worthy enters the highest echelons of society. But thank you very much, Joyful Spirit. And I mean, give credit to everyone who is part of this community, and give credit more than anyone to those who walked so we could run, and that would be the likes of Tina and Michelle, and V, and Duchess Like Us, even though they don't post as often anymore. They were really the originals, but especially Tina and Michelle, who went the hardest. Black Queen, just like his wife, telling poor people that she is glad that food banks are there for them. Oh yes, talk about your Oliver Twist moment. Oliver Twist moment and Marie Antoinette let them eat cake moment. Ladybird, those aides are the ones that call Meghan sociopath narcissist in Valentine's Low book. They must be called out. This must go viral. Yes, and I'm so glad that somebody picked up on it. I'm surprised because this podcast was back in March. In not even this year, actually. When was the date of this? It was 2021, March 2021. Yes, Rahini, it's the glows that they hate. All right. Right, I think that was that was pretty much all. Only other thing I had to say was I was waiting for one tabloid rat to try and blame the Queen's death on the podcast, and Sarah Vine stepped up to the plate. She did. I don't know whose show she was on. I think it might have been Daily Fail Confidential. But she basically said that Meghan's podcast was the cause of the Queen's death. I don't even think the Queen probably heard the damn podcast. All I have to say about Sarah Vine is if she had focused on her marriage instead of focusing on Meghan Markle, she'd probably still have a marriage. And that is all I have to say about that woman. Mercedes Todd, I have never Googled a man and I'm 65 years old. So it doesn't surprise me that she didn't Google Harry. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if she didn't Google him either. And the thing is, I think people, especially in Britain, overestimate how important sorry, no, let me rephrase that. Overestimate how popular the British royals are overseas. And also bear in mind that, yes, Meghan herself is a celebrity. She's around celebrity circles, and she was introduced by someone else to Harry. This is not a normal woman going out on a date, with someone who she met on a dating app. Because yes, in that situation, I am Googling you, I am doing background checks, I am looking at your Instagram, I'm looking at everything. This is a celebrity woman who was introduced to him by her celebrity friends. And I think the woman who was on the podcast was right. She said, at the end of the day, if she had Googled him, what would she have seen other than lies? What would she have seen other than a different narrative, a narrative different from who Harry is? Because who Harry is and what the institution he grew up in are two completely different things. They could not be further from each other. So I don't think it's so far-fetched to believe that Meghan didn't Google him. And somebody brought up the point that, there was a picture of like Meghan at Buckingham Palace when she was like 12 or something, like they'd gone on a school trip. I mean, I've gone all over Europe, taking pictures in front of castles, inside of castles. I have made absolutely no effort whatsoever to learn anything about the royal families in those countries. Like the last 2 days, we've been talking about the Danish royal family. I went to Denmark. I visited all of the big castles. I learned absolutely nothing about the royal family. So I think people just need to get off of Meghan's back instead of scrutinizing every single last thing that she says. Benjamin, folks, anybody who has Facebook, look up Double Down News. An officer named Joe Glenton speaks his thoughts regarding monarchy. You won't be disappointed. He goes in and does it respectfully. Yes, I think I watched this video yesterday. He's actually by officer you mean army officer, right? I think I've watched this. He really does go in. Yeah, I definitely encourage. Do you know what? I'm gonna post it on the community tab actually, because he says all the quiet parts out loud, unapologetically. Sian Adams, Meghan went on a blind date. Why would she Google someone as famous as Prince Harry? And as an American, I thought I knew about the royals, and I was clearly very exactly right. Isn't everybody actually getting their first proper education about the royals in the last year and a half? Even for me, as a British person, there's so many things that I'm beginning to understand and explore and learn. All right, since no one decided to come up and talk this evening, I'm just going to end with your comments and then we will call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. There will be no podcast tomorrow because I have a friend from overseas coming and we're going out. We back outside, as Beyonce would say, and I'm going to go have me a good time on the town. And I hope you have a good weekend too. But I will definitely be back on Sunday. Oh, Jacinta Barley posted a thank you to us for the fundraiser. Ooh, have a look at this. Let me just Google while we're still here. Thrive and Stride, hello, hello. It was Charles and the Shane Bridges who told the press to look for negative stories about Meghan. I'm convinced. For sure. One of them, sorry, they were one of the culprits, but I do think the press just do things because they just want clicks and views. Oh, wait, I've just seen, hang on a second, I've just seen a tweet from Kensington Royal. It says, okay, I think this is regarding something else, so I'm not going to bother with this right now. I'm not going to bother with that. But they're basically, do you know what they're saying? So it's a Kensington Royal account, and it's saying no parent should ever endure what Ian Russell and his family have been through. They have been so incredibly brave. Online safety for our children and young people needs to be a prerequisite, not an afterthought. I don't know who Ian Russell is or what the story is behind him and his family, but I do know that Kensington Palace and the other members of the royal family and the press are hypocrites. So I have no idea why they have randomly decided to tweet about a story about online safety and bullying when they have said nothing about the online bullying of their own family members, of Archie being called a monkey, and they certainly don't even care about the safety of their family members. And actually, if you go to the tweet, literally underneath everyone is calling them a hypocrite. So wow, that just came up on my feed. Okay, so I was actually looking at or looking for, sorry, Santa Barley's charity message. Hang on a sec. Okay, I can't find it, but I'll take your word for it, dear. And that's fantastic if they did, because we have raised a lot of money. Angela, no one will ever know the royal family till they actually live with them, because every narrative is controlled by them before it goes out. Exactly, that exactly. Okay, Fatimata has decided to join on the back end. So Fatimata, I'm going to give you 5 minutes if you want to talk, but I'm not going to let anyone else on. Sorry, just Fatimata. 5 minutes, hun, for you to say your 2 cents. Go right ahead, hun. Hello? Hello, Fatimata?
Hello? Oh,
Hello, I
sorry.
can hear you, hun. I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you didn't hear me. I just want to say hello to everybody, and I Wanna say hi to you, Anne, and
Oh, thank you.
thank you for everything you're doing,
Oh,
and
no, thank
everybody
you.
else that support the society. Huh? You said something?
Hmm.
Yes, and I was wondering if there's so many books coming out. I do wonder if people are buying this, if it's selling,
Oh,
or they just putting them out there part of the campaign.
you mean the royal biographies that they've been putting out?
Yes, and so many quotes from the same people, the same thing, and still they keep coming. I wonder if this is selling or they're just doing a part of the hate campaign.
100% part of the hate campaign. If they were selling in huge amounts, we would have known about it. And it's all just a way to distract from Harry's book. But it's not going to distract from Harry's book because Harry's book is going to be like an atom bomb dropping on this. Well, actually, that's the thing. Actually, no, I take back my words right there because I don't know if it's going to be an atom bomb, but they're treating it like it will be. But regardless of what Harry writes in that book, it's going to matter more than anything else the other royal reporters have said. And they know this. So they're throwing everything at the wall and hoping that it sticks, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not gonna be as explosive as I would want him. I think every year of his life should be a book. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
amazing that man has any self-esteem whatsoever. If you read anything about him, he was always built to be a failure, to doubt himself, to be
Mm.
uh, the idiot on the side. It's a wonder that man is who he is today. I think every maybe 3 months of his life or year should be another book. I really hope that he would talk about the security part because that's what annoys me the most, to tell the truth. Um, the way they cut off his security and then leak where they live.
Mm.
I don't know who was behind that. I follow the case. I've been reading whatever's available about the case, and I know whoever is Edward Young said Edward Young is
Mm.
very powerful, and
Yeah.
I
But Edward Young, I
I
think he's
really
been
hope that he
fired.
touch on that.
I think Edward Young's been fired, but he's been there long enough that if Harry wanted to say anything, he potentially could. Um,
Yeah,
so but thank you so much, Fatimata. Thank you so much for coming on and supporting
thank
as
you.
always. Okay. One more person has joined and I will oh my god, oh my god. I oh gosh, Fatimata, if you're listening, I think I have accidentally banned you from the studio. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back in my settings and sort that out. But if you try to join next time, Fatimata, and you can't join, just know that I didn't mean to ban you on purpose. I'm gonna have to go into my settings and sort that out later. Right, Nat, you've come in at the very, very last minute. So I will let you speak, and I'm not letting anybody else speak. 5 minutes, Nat. Go right ahead. Hi, Nat. Are you there? Hello? Uh, okay, she's not coming on, so maybe next time. Right. Who's gonna have the last word of the day? Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Rahini, wouldn't it be funny if Harry's book is book of poetry? Oh my god, that would be hilarious. uh but I mean from the description, we know it's not a book of poetry. But if Harry proves to be a great writer, why not do poetry? Poetry, children's fiction. Can you imagine if if Harry or Meghan wrote like the next Harry Potter or something? All right, Louise, I'll give you the last word of the day. Thank you for a great podcast. Thank you for being a great audience as always. And have a fantastic weekend. Let's dance our way out. Thank you so much, everyone. Ciao.
I used to spend my evenings by myself, you know. Went through every number on my telephone. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. I never thought that maybe I needed a friend. You have always been there together till the end. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. Falling in love ended in disaster. No such thing as happily ever after. Love ended in disaster, disaster. Now I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. You're here when I need you, steady by my side. You always make me smile when things are weighing me down. We will dance together till the sunrise. We always have a good time. Falling in love ended in disaster. No such thing as happily ever after. Love ended in disaster, disaster. Now I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free.
People should expect the real me in this, and probably the me that they've never gotten to know, certainly not in the past few years, where everything is through the lens of the media, as opposed to, hey, it's me. I'm just excited to be myself and talk and be unfiltered, and yeah, it's fun.